There's a great chance that many and majority of you guys that's clicking on this video is very confused about how echoes work in Wuthering ways. And there's many guys out there, but majority of them are very confusing to follow along. So in preparation, I done my best research to make sure the echo system was a bit better to understand and give you guys a better gist of how they work in Wuthering waves. These guys, which are called echoes, will play a major role into making your character stronger than what they originally are, and you should be forming them almost daily. There's 3 types of echoes and all of them vary in different elements.
1, 2, 3.
It may seem confusing at first to try to understand the echo system of Wuthering waves, but if you've been playing any game that has a gear system to it, it's not bad as you think and fairly easy to understand. Now before we start to capture echoes like they're Pokemons, we need to explain some things first before we talk about what echoes are the best for your character that you're using, and don't worry, I'll explain it as easy as I can. You need to level your data bank or terminal. This way you're able to obtain better echoes by level 8 for rank 4 echoes, which is your medium 3 cost echoes, and level 15 for your boss and calamity echoes, which are your 4 cost echoes. Do keep in mind there are other things that will be leveled up, like your echoes drop rate, absorption probability, and your cost limit, so you can have more echoes to equip. When starting out though, I wouldn't recommend spending all your EXP on green or blue echoes as they're worthless, and you will eventually get better ones later on if you're just going to continue to play the game by the way. And around and roughly Union level 11 is probably where you will begin to kill more enemies inside for your terminal. Reminder that any new enemies that isn't in your data bank will more than likely drop their echo. This is more of a beginner guide. I will be linking Sidneymar video that goes more into detail about red mist echoes and more. So now that you understand that you need to start leveling your data bank or terminal as soon as possible, we need to understand what echoes have the best set to start farming for and how we could utilize them on characters we use. So let's start with your main damage dealer, for example. Early game is probably going to be more ideal for 2 to 2 piece echo set, basically meaning one echo set should be your main attribute set and the other set is basically something like your endless resonance set. So for Rover, you could find echoes of the spectral attribute and find echoes that will give you endless resonance. So now you have spectral damage that increased by 10% and endless set that gives you increase in attack by 10%. Sounds simple, right? Because it is. Let's do another example just in case you're still confused. Let's say you have support characters, that being Baiji and Verena. And if you're using characters like them, you have a skill issue. For your support characters, you're looking for a 2 to 2 piece set echo set early game as well, and worrying about a full 5 piece set later. For your supports, you want to run Rejuvenating Glow. That will give you a healing bonus by 15%, and it gives you a team wide attack buff by 5 piece echo set, which making this a perfect echo set for the time being of this recording. But if you want to run a 2 to 2 piece echo set, you can run both Rejuvenating Glow and Moonlight Cloud set that gives you energy recharge by 10%. This way you can at least start off strong with whatever damage dealer you're using or support character. This could be like a Charo or Encore or even Rover, because the possibilities of trying to get a full 5 piece echo set early game may be near impossible, so we will worry about a 5 piece echo set later. Now that we understand what echo set we should consider when building a character, we can finally talk about, well, the echoes themselves. First, let's talk about echo stats. Echoes have 2 main stats. One is predetermined and the other stat will be random. There's 3 echoes that you will normally be farming daily. You have your 1 cost echoes, that is your common class echoes that is normally found around your world and typically are easier to grind, but they only have 3 main stats, which is HP percentage, attack percentage, and defense percentage, and for the second main stat is flat HP. For your cost 3 echoes, these are normally your rare enemies and you have to make sure you farm them the moment you do see them, which they do respawn daily, I believe. But the good news about this is you possibly can or just join a friend world to just grind them daily. There's 5 main stats for cost 3 echoes, which is HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage, energy recharge percentage, and element damage percentage. And for your second main stat is flat attack. And last but not least, you have your Echo Overlord or Calamity Echoes. These are your world boss echoes and they can be formed every few minutes indefinitely. They have 6 main stats: HP percentage, attack percentage, defense percentage, crit rate and crit damage percentage, and healing bonus percentage. And lastly, you will have a cost capacity for what I know, so you will need to upgrade your terminal or data bank to hold more echoes. I will be discussing about echo merging or echo recycling system. This is where you can recycle 5 unwanted echoes and will give you a new random echo in return. The higher the rarity, the better the rarity echo you will get, and the rarity of that echo is based on your databank level. For the last part, I just want to give you guys an example of team building with echoes now that you have understand what echoes are and how they work. You can stack more than 2 4-cost echoes, but the only issue there is the simple fact that you won't be able to get the echo set or the echo bonus whenever you try to go for a 2-piece or a 5-piece echo bonus. So for your echo gear, you can run a 4-cost echo with 3 1-cost echo. For early game. For mid game, you could do 4-cost echo, a 3-cost echo, and 2 1-cost echo. You can run a full team of 4-cost echoes. However, you will not be able to have or take advantage of the echo set as I mentioned, but just because how broken 4-cost echoes are in the game. These are just here to give you a good idea. Now by release or in the near future, this can be subjected to change, so keep that in mind. And hey, that's the video. Hopefully I gave you guys a better idea of how to manage your echoes before Wuthering Waves release. I will go more in depth about echoes when I get around to them doing character guides, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. If you want to talk more about Wuthering Waves, come join my Discord server and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys in another video soon.